Alright guys, so we're back for another one, and today's video we will be installing this TBR, Two Brothers Racing slip-on exhaust for the 22 Pan America. So this is pretty much everything you need here: pipe, the bracket, the muffler, some springs, and then these tools here. I've got a 9/16 and a 5/8, also in the socket in case, and I've got a T30 and a T40. So the first thing we have to do is obviously take the old one off. But in order to do that, we have to remove this to get access to that bolt right there. And I believe there's another one behind it where the center stand is attached to. And then there's, a bolt here. There's a clamp on the back. We're just going to go right through it, pull the old one off. This should be a really good way to save some weight along with the looks and performance, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, let's jump in. I'll tear it down real quick and we'll begin the install. All right, to get this out of the way, we've got to remove these two. I'm using my T40. All right, the reason why you gotta remove these, you could probably drop the center stand. I'm gonna try to do that without that, is you need to access that bolt right there, which attaches to the resonator. So I'm gonna see if I can squeeze my wrench in there without having to remove any more. There you go. All right, since I can't figure out how to get this center stand off of this whole piece here, I was able to squeeze my wrench in here. I actually switched to a 15 millimeter. See if I can just crack that bolt there. I'll switch to one of these ratcheting ones here. Plus you can kind of adjust it how you need it. I don't know if that's too much of an angle there. Work smarter, not harder. All right, that guy's pretty loose. I don't think I got to take him all the way off. All right, so now I've got this guy, and somewhere behind here is I think it's the bracket between the two. All right, one piece. All right, so you see, you got this bolt on the clamp. Oop. All right, it all came out of one piece. You got this bolt, loosens the clamp. You got this bolt, which is hidden behind there. And the bolt that attaches by the passenger footrest. That thing is not light. All right, so here's a little mid pipe. I've got the clamp on here. I believe it should go in the up position. They say leave it loose for now. I guess so you can just fit it all. I'll bring this guy just like that. So this bolt is accessible as possible, and she's butted up against the lip here. Now it wants to slip on to slip on. And I'm going to line these spring little loops here on both sides up. So I'm going to line up the pipe, make sure. And then we have this clamp here that clamps up here. All right, so they reuse this, the flanged OEM hardware, and they supply this nut in the back. So I think the clamp itself probably goes behind this. All right, I don't know if it's maybe just my clamp or whatever, but it is a pain to align. So I got that nut on the back. I've got a 12 millimeter here. I'm going to try to hold it and see if I tighten it, if it will line itself up. All right, that looks good. That was a pain in the ass. Put the springs on and then tighten the front, really. They give you this little spring tool here, which is cool. And there's one on the bottom too. There we go. Then we get to tighten that guy back up. And then we just tighten this clamp down here. I'm using a number 5 here. I've got the clamp perched upwards just enough to get my wrench in there. All right, I don't think that guy's going anywhere. Got to slap it just to be sure. Yeah, that's nice, much nicer. Goes with the whole theme. Really, the hardest part was lining the clamp up. Everything else was pretty easy. I gotta put the foot controls back on. We'll fire it up. Also, take note, if you've touched the stainless, they tell you to clean it and wipe it before you heat cycle it. So we'll do that too.